after wrapping up every Sims 2 game for PS2, I finally decided I need to finish the fight unlike Halo. It was time to finally review the Sims and Herb Sims in the City, so I can finally say I reviewed every Sims game for the PlayStation 2.
Freak.
Having gone back to play the very first Sims game for console, I could say without a doubt, yep, it's a first alright, in a lot of the wrong ways too. So let's check out the Sims and see what's so good and bad about the first entry. The Sims for console is a fully 3D original game based on The Sims 1 for PC, using the music and several objects and whatnot, plus new stuff to make a story-driven experience for single player, a unique 2-player mode, and a free mode where you just create, build, and live in a tiny neighborhood with various iconic classic Sim households like the Goths.
Oh, my favorite!
It controls in a style that tries to capture the point-and-click style with a controller, and I feel like it does it quite well. The game has some limitations, however, and I'll get more into that within each section of the review. So let's start out with Get a Life, a perfect name for those who play video games all alone. In The Sims 1 and 2, you had everyone using the same last name within a household, so pick your last name, then your first. Then, get to creating. You have astrology signs, because back then it was the norm. It was quite popular before the psychotic feminists took it over to push their bigotry during the 2010s to the present. This will determine your Sim's personality, though you can tweak things if you prefer. I just go with the defaults because I'm lazy. As for clothing and appearance, hoo boy. The Sims on PC is even more restrictive, so I won't dunk on the Sims for consoles too much. You got plenty of color swaps for most outfit parts, but you won't be really getting too accurate to recreating real-world people and their preferred fashion choices. Unless you're moist critical, then yes, white t-shirts are a thing.
Woo! Yeah, baby!
I was able to give myself a We Have Claude Speed at Home outfit, basically. Before altering my face, you can select from a small selection of racial stereotypical faces, your skin tone, your hairstyle or hat, hair color, eye color, and head accessory like earrings or glasses, and that's it in terms of customization. Vastly limited and lacking in terms of content. But you know what, compared to the Sims on PC, you got more options here, so good on the console game for outdoing the PC. But PC can be modded too. Oh well. Onto the gameplay of Get a Life. The controls are simple and work out quite well in terms of layout. Left analog stick to move your cursor, right for camera, X to interact, triangle to cancel, circle to adjust walls, square to move to selected sim, L2 and R2 to select between playable Sims, L1 to pause, and R1 to speed up gameplay. And finally, the D-pad to navigate your UI by holding the corresponding button down to see things like needs, career, relationships, and skills. It's all here, and it just works. Though I wish we could toggle the UI, I hate having to hold the D-pad button down to see information. Why not let me press it once to see, and press again to hide the UI? Thankfully, later Sims games would fix that. Ah yes, no more daydreaming about a dark-skinned blonde hottie naked in a hot tub within your very own mansion. We gotta get back to reality and realize we're adults still living with our mother who's old and naggy. But then again, that's just women in general, am I right, fellas?
Oh my god!
Anyways, enough triggering a random viewer who sees this in 10 to 15 years once YouTube finally puts it out there to people's recommendations. We gotta play The Sims. In Get a Life, your goal is to complete goals. Yeah, shocker. Unlock new objects, and move into different houses, building yourself a successful career, friendships, relationships, and finally, getting a mansion.
Boy, I'm a little hard right now, I ain't gonna lie.
But of course, that's not an easy task, as The Sims is very punishing. From the needs decaying so rapidly, to skills taking forever to build, or the fact jobs don't pay jack shit till way down the line, and your Sims will literally eat up all your savings by buying pointless food. Ah yes, The Sims 1 was captured perfectly on consoles. The game gets boring fast as you tend to needs, try to learn how to repair and cook things, mooch off your mother's life savings, and finally get a job. All so you can move out and really begin playing the game. Which brings me to the gameplay just keeps getting worse and worse, as now you have to clean up a burned down house, which takes forever and ever 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 and ever.
Forever, 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 forever.
With needs decaying faster than a working man's bank account with a trophy wife at home. Your sim will get moody and never want to do anything but pee himself.
Huh?
Trying to afford to repair the place and eat is nigh impossible. Had there been cheat codes to actually alleviate these issues, like Rosebud or Max Motives, or even just both, this game might have been more enjoyable. Alas, it's not, and I end up quitting here every time I play the game as a kid to now as a 30-year-old man. I just don't want to deal with this bullshit anymore. So, off to free mode. In free mode, we can name the neighborhood and then either build or create Sims or even just play as the already pre-established Sims, like the Goths. So obviously, if there's a character creator of sorts, we gotta test it out to see if we can make Charlie, Muda, and Zach. To which wasn't that hard to pull off with Charlie, as he's just a white shirt wearing Jesus looking dude. Honestly, he was the easiest one to make, all things considered. Sadly, Muda was more challenging because in this time period, your dark characters were always just black guys, so Muda had some tweaking to be less generic black guy, and I feel like he turned out alright.
I'm talking about fucking buttholes, alright?
As for Zach, it was a challenge to find the right clothing given his mangy lifestyle of Skid Row role-playing. Not to mention the hair was a pain too. Yet in the end, I feel like Zach was a highly accurate. What do you think, Zach? So once you created a household, we gotta give them a house. So let's move them into an empty lot and begin building. Ah yes, that classic Sims 1 music, truly iconic. Anyways, when it comes to build mode, by God is it limited, and I'm not just talking about console limitations of only a single story house. No, I'm talking you got very little stuff to build with. Just a small amount of wallpapers, floorings, windows, doors, and more. But also the controls. Dear God, are the controls a bit finicky? Wouldn't it be such an issue if we didn't have to use the left analog stick for placing things? Why can't we use the D-pad? At least placing walls and stuff would be more simpler and more precise with the D-pad, because the left analog stick likes to flicker all around, and you can never get accurate. It'll always move over a tile more than you want. At times, it's just twitchy. Once we got ourselves a nice little shell built, we gotta furnish the place. But with a tiny budget, we can't really buy much of anything. Go figure. When it comes to buy mode, we got little to no objects to play with. I'm not joking when I say this game has so little content. It's on par, if not worse, than The Sims 2 Pets on console.
Good God.
You got 9 lights, all of which are floor, wall, and table only. You only got like 2 toilets. You got a single shower and 2 bathtubs. But don't worry. They made sure most of the content, much like The Sims 2 Pets on PS2, was mostly just decoration stuff. Yep, the one thing I never really liked to use in The Sims, because decorations don't matter, is just money wasted materialism after all. Yes, let's have more of that in The Sims. It's bad enough most of the objects in The Sims 4 are just decorations. I don't want any more of that than I already have to deal with. This, in turn, will lead to everyone having the same exact house and objects at the end of the day. Now that truly sucks donkey balls.
Why, God?
So after playing with the white household, I finally decided to make myself again in free mode and moved into an empty lot with some hotties to build my own harem mansion. Even still, I had to use the same exact objects to make my own home as I did for Charlie, Muda, and Zach. There's just no real variety in this game. You're going to have the same exact toilet, stove, fridge, couch, TV, bed, lights, and more. But that negative aside, I did find a few gameplay objects to place, so my Sims would have something to do. Unlike my Sims 4 Sims, who are always bored. I need to download more mods and CC to fix that, since EA won't be bothered to make gameplay in their DLCs, just female clothing and decorations.
Based.
The usual Sims formula is here as you tend to their needs, gain skills, make friends, work a career, pay the bills, deal with non-stop house fires because it's The Sims 1, and all that jazz. While Sims will autonomously do things, you're still going to need to intervene for the best results. Making sure Sims are in a happy mood so they can go to work and get closer to a promotion, or just to make friends and gain skills, as bad mood Sims won't do anything but bitch. Kind of like me.
No shit.
Man, oh man, dude, the needs decay just so bad. It decays quicker than organic fruit or the economy under Bush. It's just a joke of a game at this point during live mode. I mean, what the hell am I supposed to do? I got the best objects unlocked and they still don't fill needs fast, nor keep them full for long. I'm struggling to keep everyone happy and still go to work on time. This is one major problem with The Sims 1 and The Sims 2 that sucks balls.
Oh, bitch, bitch, bitch.
I shouldn't have to babysit them so much to make sure they're happy. I also shouldn't have to waste so much time tending to their needs that they can't gain skills or build relationships, both of which are needed to get promotions at work. Yep, another problem with the older Sims games is that you need to set a number of friends to even get a promotion at work. It's just fucking stupid. There's no cheat codes to alleviate this issue, so get ready to deal with Sims peeing themselves all of the time, sleeping all the time, eating all the time, and using up all your money by eating all the time. Oh, and of course, eating all of the time. Yes, I know I said that several times, but I'll explain that up next.
I can hardly wait.
Yep, Sims will just waste all their money on food, even when they're not hungry. Like, what kind of programming do they have? This is just as bad as Sims 4 Sims always making drinks at a bar or ordering at a bar till they can't afford to. This is one of the moments that made me quit playing the game, cause how the fuck can I even do anything if Sims have no money and a ton of dirty dishes and garbage laying around? Jesus H. Christ, Zach Sim is making this house into his real world house. I wonder if we can get a dead rat for an alarm clock as well.
don't like where this is going. Stop! Stop! No, 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 no!
Of course, what would a Sims game be without a speed up feature? Well, it'd be The Sims 2 for DS, as I don't remember there ever being an option for that. Anyways, yeah, The Sims for PS2 has a pause and speed up option. The problem, however, is the speed up isn't really that fast. Take ×2 speed in any other Sims game and make it about half a bit slower, and that's how ×2 speed works in this game. It's not good, and I just want to speed things up so my Sims will be done tending to their needs, and I can make them do other things, but nope, it's slow.
Hey, how about Bobby T, Mimi? But sometimes the wrong day, keep party. Hey, how about Bobby T, Mimi? But sometimes the wrong day.
The problem with The Sims on PS2 is there's just not much to do. You got only a few gameplay objects and skill objects, but that's about it. You can't go to other lots in this game, and as such, you're going to always be at home or work via fade off the lot. I get bored so easily with this game because of how lacking and shallow the gameplay tends to be. I wanted to have more fun, but after busting out, it's kind of hard to go back to a highly more conservative Sims game like this.
Here it comes.
Honestly, if you gotta go play The Sims on console, play Bustin' Out or The Sims 2, as either one will offer more quality content and fun to be had. Those games have a lot more character and soul, great music, and replay value. This game just helps to lay a foundation to build better ones down the line over a few years. Back when games came out yearly, before the great development hell cycle took over after the 7th generation of console gaming. That's plaguing us still to this day. I miss those simpler times when we could expect great games all the time throughout the years in the 90s and early 2000s.
Oh, those were the days.
Oh man, at least the music is good. It's The Sims 1 after all, with some unique stuff. I never used the radio, however, not a fan of the stations till The Sims 2 for console and PC. In fact, that's the only good one of all 4 major games in terms of radio selection. Gotta love that shopping music. The load times and saving times are great. I'll give the developer credit for nailing that part, even though you won't be hitting many loading screens in this game because you can't go to other lots. While outside of that positive comes a major negative: performance. It's not good.
And I'm using the word good very loosey-goosey.
It's a serious problem. As I played the game, it had random lag moments and major slowdown. I haven't seen slowdown this bad since I played the older Dynasty Warriors games on PlayStation 2 back in the day. This is clearly an engine issue. As you add more stuff to your house, the worse things become, let alone if you have multiple Sims on the lot. Just something to keep in mind if you decide to play this game. Well, this means we only have one more game to go, and it's one I never played growing up. The Herbs, Sims in a City, just looked like a crappy spin-off with a vegan-esque fan base that never shuts up about how it's the superior game in the entire franchise. So I never wanted to touch it. But it's the last one, so we might as well get into it whenever that does occur. Who knows, maybe it'll not be so bad. Only time will tell.
Well, he's in for quite a surprise.
At the end of the day, The Sims for PlayStation 2 is just too lackluster and restrictive to be really any fun. I tried to enjoy myself, but the gameplay is too limited alongside its content. Plus, with all the slowdown that only gets worse the more you play and add on to your house, The Sims is just a mediocre experience I can barely recommend. All it is a prototype for what's to come, where we get the better games in the following years with Bustin' out in The Sims 2, both of which I've reviewed, so go check those out. Next.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
I still kind of like The Sims, but this game just doesn't have enough to keep me interested in it for a long time. With needs decaying so rapidly, the gameplay being so slow, even with ×2 speed, and many other gripes I have with it, you should at least try it to see where The Sims on consoles all started. You could always do worse, like The Sims 4 on console, or The Sims 3, especially for the Wii or 3DS. And of course, The Sims 2 Castaway and Pets, all of which were just equally as bad in terms of technical and content limitations and lackluster gameplay. The Sims, much like the PC version, is just too surface level to really be enjoyable for long. It's a neat thing to look back to and see just how much further things have all come. Anyways, that's it for this video. See y'all later.